Mighty John, the record guy. He can tell you if your records are worth anything at moneymusic.com. Good morning, John. How are you, brother?
Good morning, Corey. How are you?
Not bad, not bad. ACDC just played. Is there any ACDC records that are worth anything?
Well, the one you want to look for is the 45 of Whole Lot of Rosie, which is up to about $125.
Wow, that ain't bad. A whole lot.
Yeah.
I've never even heard of that one.
Yeah, you
Whole
know
Lot of
Whole
Rosie.
Lot of
Yeah,
Rosie.
she was a real groupie, weighed about 400 pounds, and that's a whole lot of Rosie.
Yeah, I've never heard that story. I'm going to look into that. Danny brought some records in, John. I guess that'll give us kind of a starting spot here. What did you bring, Danny?
Well, John last time told me about my Elvis and my Beatles, and those are the big money makers. So I'm already sitting pretty with those two. But I got some off the wall ones. How about the Best of Bread?
The Best of Bread should be a black and white album cover.
Yep.
And up to about $30.
Hey,
not bad.
Not bad considering what you paid for it.
Right. Absolutely nothing. Oh, wow. I was not expecting that.
You're the last person I would expect to have a bread album, but
okay. How about Chicago? And it's got stars on it. It's red, white, and blue. Chicago and red.
The only album by Chicago that's worth really anything is the first one, Chicago Transit Authority, which would go up to about $300. The rest of them in the $20 price range.
Wow, $300 for a Chicago album. That's crazy. 901-535-9898. If you have a record you'd like to know what it's worth, Mighty John can tell you pretty much on the spot.
All right, one more. Let's do any Stevie Wonder.
The jazz soul of Stevie, which contained his first hit, Fingertips, is up to about $300. So that would be probably the big one for Stevie.
Okay.
And the 45 of Fingertips with its picture sleeve is up to $100.
Okay, now, all right, just in general, because the one I have right here says collector's album. It's the songs in the key of life. Does that matter with any, when they say collector's album, is that just giving you more tracks and not really any value?
No, they're just trying to put one over on you and say, you want to buy this? This is a collector's album. Only the public will decide what's a collector's album. The record company can't make that decision.
So it's getting to be Halloween time, John. Are there any Halloween records that are worth anything?
Well, there are, and probably some of them that you want to look for. Well, everybody knows the Monster Mash, the original Monster Mash with picture sleeve up to $100. Werewolves of London.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Zevon. Now, if you have a copy and there's a picture of a werewolf on the vinyl, that's up to $100. One that I like, The Munsters. Remember the TV show, The Munsters?
Yes.
The soundtrack album is up to $300.
Whoa!
I had a chance to meet Fred Gwynn. He was at a filming Pet Cemetery here in Maine. And I walked into a studio, and he was there all by himself, and I looked at him, and where have I seen this guy before? And he looked at me, and oh my gosh, Herman Munster. And he said, yeah, don't ever call me that.
No, I don't. I probably would have said the same thing.
So anyway, that album, The Munsters, up to $300. And, you wouldn't believe it, but Michael Jackson's Thriller, if you have a copy and there's a picture of Michael on the vinyl, that's currently up to $400. And the big one, you probably haven't heard of the record, but Bobby Bare was the singer. One of his first records, Vampira, turned value up to $2,500.
What? An old record like Vampira?
Vampira, Bobby Bare.
That is absolutely crazy. All right, coming up in just a bit, if you've got old records, you want Mighty John to tell you what they're worth, 901-535-9898. Oh, yeah.
This is one of those stupid songs where I sang the wrong lyrics when I was a kid. I said, instead of Werewolves of London, where was the thunder?
Mighty John, the record guy, and you next on the Max.
Well, the picture disc was $400, but the regular black vinyl copy, which most people would have, $30 to $40 right now. Are you answering that text? VINYL. It's about a month ago, wasn't it? Yeah. Somewhere around the end of September. I could talk about some of the ones I found this summer that were some pretty good money. Interested in collecting records, but I don't really know where to get in. So. Did you find them from back in the day?
Did you see Jason's text? No, just got a new one. Somebody asked about the 45 of the Battle of New Orleans, with that track being the only song of the B-side is uncut.
It's probably a promotional copy. So it should be on Columbia Records, and it'd be up to about $25.
All right, we'll get that one here in just a minute.
Yep.
Among others. Oh, we asked that we've got 60 Texas State brands.
Okay. When CDs first came out, they came out what was known as a long box, which is a cardboard box you had to destroy to get to the CD inside. And they were around for 3 years. Those boxes is where the money is, up to about $50 for those boxes. Then they went to the jewel case, and not so much. No, too easy to duplicate. There's enough fakes with vinyl, but with tape, it would be much easier. That's because you got a lot of 8 tracks, don't you, Corey? Well, there is a market for people that restore cars from the 70s. They came with 8-track players. Yeah. They'd stop right in the middle of a song, go to the next track. I don't have one. I don't know. Mm-hmm.
Mighty John, the record guy, is joining us. He appraises old records at moneymusic.com.
And since we just came out of Nirvana, we've got Ben on our Rick's powder coating text line 535-9898. John, how about Nirvana Bleach? Is there any value in that record?
Well, I know the one that always comes to mind when I hear about Nirvana is Love Buzz. If you have Love Buzz with its picture sleeve, it can go up to $1,000. So that's the big one that I think of.
Holy smokes.
When I think on Sub Pop, that's going to be the label, Sub Pop.
And we got another text message. How about a 45 of the Battle of New Orleans? That track's the only cut on the vinyl. The B-side is uncut and smooth.
Well, it's either a promotional copy. It all depends. on a record that's uncut on the flip side if the artist is really collectible. Johnny Horton overall not too collectible, should be on Columbia Records to be an original and would be up to around $25. This did come with a picture sleeve, which is a cartoon drawing of the Battle of New Orleans. That would add another $25 to it.
Okay. We've got Rockador on our Facebook Live asking about Prince and Purple Rain.
Too many of them out there. That's what hurts the value. So it's up to about $20. The big one for Prince is known as the Black Album, and that can go for up to $500.
I didn't know he strayed from purple. I've got two here. What about any Three Dog Night?
It ain't easy. That album it came with either a straight shot of Three Dog Night or they're nude on the cover, and those covers are worth up to $100.
And I did ask about my Beatles and I haven't made money off of it, but I could. The one I didn't ask you was John Lennon, Imagine.
Imagine the 45. The album can go up to around $100. The 45 more in the $40 price range.
$100 is still $100.
Right? Imagine that. Yeah. Imagine what you could do with $100.
Is there any value in compact discs? Or CDs?
Not really, but when you ask about Imagine, I was doing a radio interview and somebody called up and said, I got this record by the Beatles. Can you tell me what it's worth? And I said, well, what is it? He said, it's called Imagine. Imagine? I can't think of any record by the Beatles called Imagine. And I said, you mean Imagine?
Oh, my God. Lord, help us.
Imagine. That is hysterical.
We've got also Leonard Skinner, Street Survivors.
I get more calls about this album than any album out
Really?
there. And that's because, of course, they recalled the album cover and reissued it without flames. But,
that's right.
And a lot of people think the one with the flame cover is worth a lot of money. The problem is so many were sold before the recall that they're not uncommon, and thus worth up to $40 with the flames, up to $10 without the flames.
Okay, so there you go. $40 is still pretty good for that record, don't you think?
Yeah. Now, back to Michael Jackson, the Thriller album, you said was as long as he was on the actual album or a picture.
The picture disc, yeah.
Picture on the vinyl, yes.
We got,
a regular standard black vinyl copy, $30 to $40, up to $30 to $40, even though there's like 50 million of them sold. Michael Jackson became much more collectible after his death than prior to his death, and that's unusual because usually only time will increase the value of the record. But Michael Jackson was the exception.
So have we not had enough time for any Tom Petty albums to be of any value?
Yeah, the Wildflowers album by Tom Petty will go up to about $200.
The one that came out in the 90s?
Yeah, the latest one?
Yeah.
Wow, or not the latest, but yeah, wow.
Wow, you'd think it would be an older one, wouldn't you?
Yep, but that was the value before his death, so his death really didn't increase the value.
Okay. Mighty John, the record guy, you can find him at moneymusic.com. Well, I think we got time for one more on the Pricks Powder Coating line, Danny.
Well, I was looking, this one guy saying that he had the Michael Jackson Thriller album with the plastic wrap still intact with the glove inside.
Well, I don't know about the glove making any difference, but if you have a still sealed album, not a good idea to keep it still sealed. You want to break the seal and let it breathe. Otherwise, the record will press against the cover and leave that record impression on the cover, which will ruin the value of the cover.
All right, one more. George Harrison, Everything Must Pass.
Everything Must Pass. Not his big album, but up to about $25 to $30.
All right. Mighty John, the record guy. You can find him online at moneymusic.com. We like to have him on from time to time. Thank you, John, and happy Halloween.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, hon.
Take care.
All right, you too. Bye.
Coming up in just a few minutes, we have got tickets for you to see Gary Clark Jr. at the Orpheum. We'll have a time warp for that next.